woke up and said to myself, you know what? I want to no damage Levitated Ruin. Just like all of the other stages so far, I want to master it. And I did. And after the run, I'll tell you exactly how I did. But goodness gracious, was this stage hard. Of course, when it comes to this storybook game in particular, having a strong handle on your Wii Remote makes a big difference, but also learning how to deal with the stage's specific challenges are crucial. Like, what the frick is all this? But after many failed attempts, I finally said, you know what? I'm not going to let Levitated Ruin stop me in my tracks. So I put on my sneakers, did a nice stretch, and entered Levitated Ruin one last time.
3, 2, 1.
The wing speed here is incredible! Be careful, Sonic! Jump! Okay!
Someone special!
Of course! Watch out for those spikes, Sonic!
Hey! That stone statue just moved!
If you get turned to stone, move the Wii Remote forward and backward to break free.
You're not getting away!
When your soul gauge has power.
Let's do it!
Hey, Sonic! Wait! That was close!
Ha! No problem! Here we go, Shara!
Sonic, slow down!
Hey! If you want to play tag, go do it someplace else! Steve!
Are you okay, Sonic?
Just leave it to me!
Use the ivy to get across.
Let's go, Shara!
Be careful, Sonic!
Speed break! Whoa! They're open here, too?
Whoa! What's with the spikes? They just keep coming! Just a little more, Sonic!
All right!
Over there!
That was tight!
After finally completing the stage, I set down my Wii Remote and took the biggest sigh of relief that I've ever taken in my life. But what's next? The challenges, of course. Let me tell you a bit about them. Levitated Ruin is immersive and really fun, but don't let this stage's beauty distract you because you'll definitely want to pay attention to get past these obstacles. You'll really want to get back to sections that you mess up on, but the thing about Levitated Ruin is that the stage's length is a bit longer than usual, and the parts you're likely to have more trouble with come later in the stage. So this means that you'll have to get past the easier parts and the more brain-dead parts of the stage before catching back up. And I don't know about you, but I start to check out when my fingers already know what to do and I lose focus. And by the time I get back to where I was, I forget to check back in. So what can you do if that's an issue that you tend to have? For me, I kept repeating to myself in my head what I was doing at that very moment, even when using these circular contraptions. It may sound simple, but it definitely helped me keep focused when I needed to be. Next, I want to talk about this gate. The one thing you don't want is for things outside of your control to mess you up, but unfortunately this is a Sonic game, and for some reason they love rushing these games out the door, so you're bound to have to deal with them in one way or another. Something here keeps you lowered to the ground so that you can't jump, or it will rise you off the ground instead of registering it as a jump. I have no idea what this is, but what I found I could do was jump a little before this spot. But just make sure you pay attention to Sonic because this still throws off your footing, so you'll want to try resetting yourself. This isn't the only way you can do this, so you can also just experiment with it. The last challenge I wanted to go over is this wind gust section with the obstacles flying towards you after your first highway section. Of course, you're not gonna want anything to hit you or slow you down, but there's just a lot that gets in your way here. You have to not get hit right here, not run into those, and oh yeah, not run into that either. And then you have to pick up your speed again if you decide you need to slow down and still not get hit by these pillars. Goodness, it's a lot, but here's how I did it. I start out on the left side, so all I'd have to worry about was slightly readjusting back towards the middle. Then I charge to jump to gain a tad more control to then make sure I led myself to a safe zone. So then at least I could reset and continue through without getting hit by these pillars. Definitely one of the hardest parts for me to get through, but it was overcome with some practice. Now let's move on to some of the tech, because it's one thing to conquer a difficult stage, but to do so with flair is like the 3 cherries on top of the whipped cream. Splash jump makes a return to being a very helpful skill, especially during these gusty segments of the stage. Being able to hurdle over these pillars is like chef's kiss and is just so fun to do. We can also take advantage of the skill cancel burst in these areas, though the wind still fights you a little. When it comes to the rails in this game, we usually want nothing to do with them because they can just feel really janky, but in order to navigate them the way you'd like, you need to preemptively start holding the jump button before it will recognize that jumping is the action you want to take. It is something to get used to, but not anything too horrible. At times when you don't want to break the pace with a homing attack, just use the speed break instead. This may not come at much of a surprise that speed break destroys enemies, especially if you've played the boost games, because it just makes sense that it does that. This isn't a huge revelation by any means, but it's still an option available for when you want to try something a little different. And on the note of not breaking the pace, you may find it helpful to just let go of these ropes you hang on instead of shaking the Wii remote to make you swing. This is mostly because Sonic will target the next rope without needing to close the distance first. There's also the fact that acceleration to top speed is something Sonic is always passively doing unless you're braking, and the skill warp boost just accentuates that fact. And there we have it. The challenge against Levitated Ruin was taken, the challenge was overcome, and the ins and outs were learned. That was definitely the hardest stage for me thus far, but the thing about Sonic and the Secret Rings is that there's always another twist around the corner, and we'll see what form that twist takes in Pirate Storm. So until then, make sure to take care of yourselves and each other.